What is going on, my fitness coaches? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives Make Money on the Journey podcast. It's your boy Brian Mark, and in today's episode, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be sharing with you guys the story of how I became a gym owner and where it's currently at today. So, for those of you guys that are loyal followers of the podcast, maybe you're new here. I am a two-time business owner. So, my first business obviously is PT Domination, where I help personal trainers grow successful online coaching businesses. And my second business is Aesthetic Nation Gym, which actually is named after my first fitness coaching company that I started back in 2013. I ended up, getting a gym and naming it Aesthetic Nation. But I think that every dude, maybe this is just me, I feel like every guy on the planet that works out has a dream of owning a gym one day. Because that was my dream. When I was like 23, 24 years old, I just had this like idea that I wanted to be a gym owner. I just want to own a gym. And it's because I had such a passion for fitness. Like fitness had changed my life in so many different ways that I felt like having a gym or having my own space to be able to just do whatever the fuck I wanted with was something I always wanted. So I set it as a goal that I wanted to be a gym owner one day. And I never really fully had a plan for how it was going to happen. I just kind of set it and forget it. So 2020 comes around. I'm business coaching for personal trainers. My business is fucking popping off. And I had one of my clients actually call me and was like, yo, I've got an opportunity for, you to purchase a gym with me. I was going to buy in with a partner and they ended up dropping out. Like, do you want to participate? And I was like, I'll participate, but I'm not going to do it without my business partner, Cole. So he's like, yeah, sounds good. So I called Cole and I'm like, yo, do you want to buy a gym? He's like, what the fuck? I was like, basically with COVID, the gym had slashed their price in half essentially, and they were selling it. I was like, we can buy it for basically pennies on the dollar. And, you've always wanted to own a gym. I've always wanted to own a gym. Do you want to do it? He said, yes. Now, initially, when I bought the gym, I bought in as a 25% shareholder, and my intention was to be a silent partner. And the reason I wanted to be a silent partner is because PT Domination is a fucking enterprise, dude. Like I've got 50 people that work for my company. We've got over 1,800 clients. Like I had no intention of fully running and starting another business. It just wasn't in the cards for me. But I took over the gym and I ended up being basically the marketing brains behind the gym because my brain just works really well with marketing. So I was responsible for a lot of the front end marketing and the conversations that we were having with the public. So during the pandemic, everybody knows that at that time, governments were basically telling us that we couldn't work out, we couldn't exercise, but, we could go to the mall and we could go to the casino, but we weren't allowed to work out. Now, as a gym owner, I was like, that is absolutely fucking obnoxious. And you're telling me that people can like walk ass to butt in the mall and be like a foot away from each other, but we can't work out or exercise in the gym to keep ourselves healthy, to like get rid of the sickness. I was like, bullshit. So we made the decision that we weren't going to close. And that ended up turning into this like massive fight with the government. And at first, this decision was fully supported by all four partners at the time. Everybody was on board. Everybody wanted to fight the government. Everybody wanted to like stay open. So for the like a full 4 months, we basically publicly defied the government. And if you guys want to look this up, just search up Iron Energy Gym doesn't close their doors on Google. You'll find a lot of shit on it. We were called Iron Energy. Now this went on for a period of 4 months. We were getting, tens of thousands of dollars worth of tickets, cops showing up at our gym every day trying to get us to shut down. We just refused to shut down and we were very vocal about it until it came to a breaking point where I don't know if you guys remember this, but in Canada, when the truckers were getting their bank accounts frozen, when the truckers drove across Canada, getting their bank accounts frozen and people were getting thrown in jail. At that point, like we got a call from somebody that worked down at the police station. And the call basically was like, yo, if you guys don't shut your doors down right now, like there's a bunch of cops that are like basically gearing up to come in and like toss you guys around, arrest you and throw you in jail. So me and my partners at that time, we decided it was probably best to close the doors because I wasn't willing to risk my entire life over this like idea. I just wasn't willing to do it. So we closed and we were permanently shut down. And they basically said that we like could not reopen our doors. And they gave us like 6 months before we were able to reopen. Now, while the gym was shut down, I was still running PT Domination because I still have two businesses. So I was dealing with the front end of basically fighting the government and running PT Domination, which is my online coaching business. And honestly, during that like 2 year time frame, like, dealing with the gym shutdown and also running PT Dom, like it was the most stressful fucking period of my entire life. And during that time frame, two of my partners came up to me and they basically were like, we're going to sell our shares. So there's two options. Option number one is you can buy them, or option number two, we can sell them to a stranger. And so I ended up calling Cole and I was like, yo, like, our partners want to sell. And so we either have to buy the shares or we got to sell the gym. And like for me, selling the gym at the time just felt like the wrong thing to do because I'd been fighting, like I was the face of this fucking we are staying open no matter what movement. And then all of a sudden we were just gonna like close our doors and shut down permanently. Like I just felt like a cop out and I just hated that. So I called Cole. Cole had just purchased a house in Kelowna though. Like he had just put down like 600 grand to buy a house next door to me. So he's like, I like want to do this really bad, but I like will not, put my family in a risky financial situation because I literally just dropped 600 grand in a house. So like I can't buy the shares with you. So then I had to sit down and have a conversation with myself. And I was like, am I willing to buy 50% of the shares from my partners, which was a hefty price tag at the time. And so I made the decision that I was going to do it. I made the decision that I was going to buy the shares and we fucking, Cole and I, just like that, we took over the gym. We ended up getting the gym open like 2 months after I bought the shares and fucking everything was good, And over the course of the last like 3 to 4 years, like, in 2020 to 2021, the gym made a little bit of money. In 2021 to 2022, the gym was negative, like 20 to 50,000 because we were closed. 2022 to 2023 was actually a good year for us. And then 2023 to 2024, again, was good. This year, though, we ended up getting into a dispute with our landlords. And so it was July. We had like this major plumbing issue in the gym and it caused like $60,000 worth of damage. And we were Aesthetic Nation Gym at the time. And got into the dispute with our landlords. And our landlords were basically like, you guys have to pay this bill. And our insurance company's like, you guys don't have to pay that bill because that's not your responsibility. That's theirs. So basically, this like verbal dispute, Cole and I went on this like 2 week long vacation. And while Cole and I were in the air, like I was in Arizona, Cole was in Vancouver, we got a call from, our general manager that basically said there's cops in our gym right now escorting our members out. They're changing the locks, which is highly fucking illegal, by the way. You can't just change the locks when you feel like it. There's fucking rules in place for a reason. That being said, we like realized at the time we're like, if they're changing the locks illegally, the next thing they're going to do is they're going to try to seize our equipment illegally. So we flew back to Kelowna. We grabbed all of our shit out of the gym. We literally moved, 15,000 square feet worth of gym equipment in fucking 24 hours, got them all into Sea-Can containers and started the hunt for our second location. So we spent about 30 days looking for a new location, securing a lease, etc. We ended up finding this place, which is our new location, which is now open on the side of the highway. It was the old Urban Distilleries building. It's a 25,000 square foot building. It's got a massive upstairs that's completely undeveloped that we're going to use for events. It's got a main floor that we just finished and now is like people are using for their gym exercise space. And then it's also got a basement that we turned into a boxing studio, an athletic area. And also we just bought a bunch of new equipment that's getting dropped off right away. And we've been open now at this point for, it's November, the last 4.5 weeks. Basically open November 13th. So 4 weeks. It's funny because when I tell this story, I was talking to Cole about this. In like 5 years' time, like people aren't even gonna remember what happened. Like people aren't even gonna remember. Like even if I think about like the pandemic stuff when we like opened our doors, there was so much support and people were like so happy that we were the ones that were like vocal because a lot of businesses in town weren't willing to stand up until we stood up and then they followed our lead. And because we were basically the head of the snake, like the government came after us first, like we were like they were trying to set an example with us, blah, blah, blah. But nobody really talks about that anymore. And people just forget, And it's the same thing with like this situation. Like we got our doors shut down. Everyone in Kelowna was like basically turned against us. And then it was like 50-50 member support. Like 50% of our members were like, we're going to follow you wherever. And then the other 50% were like, fuck these guys. But now that we're open, obviously the community sentiment is a lot higher and people are a lot more excited. But like in, 2 years time from now, this is just going to be the best gym in Canada and nobody's really going to remember what it took to get to that place. But we will, we will. I always said to myself that I wanted to own the best gym in Canada. Like that was something that was a dream that I had since we bought the gym in 2020. And the old location just didn't have the framework to be able to do that. It just didn't have like the legs. It just didn't have the grounds. But now in this new location, like this new location does have the framework to be the best gym in Canada. Like it's got the space, it's got the parking, it's got the equipment, it's got the energy, it's got the atmosphere, it's got the vibe. And people that have come to the gym that are like walking through the gym, working out, like have felt it. Like this by far right now, even with the one floor, is the best gym in Kelowna. And now our goal is to open the downstairs within the next, week and a half or so. And once we open the downstairs, like it's no doubt going to be the best gym in Canada. And for that, like the message for me is that no matter what adversity you're going through, like I just believe in a higher power. And I believe that if you've got a dream, if you've got something that you want to do, if you've got this like goal that's in your heart or something that you're holding on to, like I truly believe that if you're tenacious enough, if you're resilient enough, if you have enough faith, if you have enough self-belief, that anything is fucking possible. Because like I can promise you when, we got shut down the first time because we refused to close our doors and blah, blah, blah. Like the amount of people that thought we were going under forever was like, it was overwhelming. And then when we got shut down the second time, the amount of people that turned their backs and didn't think that we'd get open in the time that we did was overwhelming. But I believe that it does not matter what anybody thinks about you. It doesn't matter what other people say about you. It doesn't matter how many fucking people doubt you. If you never doubt yourself and you never like give up on that dream and you are fucking absolutely relentless in the pursuit of it, like absolutely nothing can stop you ever, ever. There's not a force on this planet that can fucking stop me. I'm the fucking one. And for those of you guys that are listening to this episode, like I want you to look up Aesthetic Nation Gym. And then I want you to come here when you're in Kelowna. Because when you come to Aesthetic Nation Gym, now that you know the story, like you'll know like it's like there's a deeper level of appreciation once you actually know like what it took to get this fucking place open. And it took millions of dollars. It took like years of fucking work and adversity and overcoming and, basically sticking fucking a middle finger in the face of haters and lawsuits and a whole bunch of shit. But when you see what it's become now, it's like, it just makes it super special. So that is it. That is all. That is the tale of my second business, Aesthetic Nation Gym. I'm super excited for what the future holds with the gym. We just got started. We opened 4 weeks ago. In the last 4 weeks, we've signed up 200 new members, which is fucking crazy. I know with the open of the downstairs as well, it's going to be massive. And there's going to be a lot of people that are really excited about the gym again. And then once that excitement dies off, we're going to open up the upstairs for our event center, which is going to be fucking huge. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thanks for listening to the story. Hope everyone has the best day of their entire lives. If you're ever in Kelowna, you got to come check out Aesthetic Nation Gym. 25,000 square feet of getting fucking juicy. Peace. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Hopefully you got some value. If you did, and you want to learn more about how me and my team can help you scale your online fitness business to $10,000 a month, DM me 10K on Instagram at TheRealBrianMark for more information, and I'll reach out to you to see if I can help you grow an online coaching business.